You're welcome to Who Cares Moment with Biola. I am Biola Shama. On Who Cares Moment, we share true life stories of everyday people who have overcome challenges in life and moving stories of those in need of someone who cares. Through these true life stories, you get to know that no matter what you're going through, you are not alone. You can handle it and have the power to change your life and be your brother's keeper. Who cares? We care. Growing up, did you ever wonder how long happily ever after is meant to be? It's said forever. Alright, I know you don't want to think negative thoughts, but life happens. What then do you do when the unexpected happens and you find yourself in a situation you have no preparation for whatsoever? Today's story is on the travails of a young South African widow, Nomfundo. Widows in Africa have often been faced with traumatic experience like discrimination, painful and psychological experience that can last a lifetime. Nomfundo shares her experience of the journey of grief, growth and transformation. She grew up with a very loving father who doted over her, and she had a dream of having her own loving family too. Then she met a Prince Charming, a Nigerian. They got married, and like in the case of fairy tale stories, life was beautiful, with a loving, dutiful, caring husband and the father of her two children, Obina and Favor. So when her father passed on, her husband became that loving father.
He was a friend, he was my dad, he was like everything that you wanted in a man.
And then, suddenly, something happened that changed her life forever.
He got sick worse, and then he was admitted in hospital. When he was admitted in hospital, still I was his nurse more than the nurses that were there because they never understood him. So I had two kids. My daughter was 8 months. I had to hire a nanny that would look after my daughter and my son. The pain, again, when you are in Christ, there's a way that God will prepare you. When my husband, I did not have that thing that would go. And then he said, please give me yogurt. By the time I turned to open the yogurt and turned to look at him, everyone was looking. I was the only one that did not see. Everyone was crying. I was surprised, like everyone was crying. When I looked, he was gone. With one, there's a funny smile that used to do with that funny smile. And still, the shock, I did not have the shock that moment. It was like maybe. Then because I remember one nurse when she came to hug me, and then when she hugged me, she closed my arms. No, you can't close him. I felt as if he was not gone. The transition that we go through, it was something else. The experience, I don't wish it even for them. We've got enemies, we've got the worst one, the worst that will be your closest friend, that will be with you. You don't wish for them to experience that kind of a pain, because it leaves you one that for you to get your sense, it's by God's grace. The decision that I made, that let him be buried at home than here. Again, I did that for my children. I'm a South African, but I wanted them to know where they are coming from. My elder brother was scared. My uncle, everyone in my family was scared when I was going, because I've never met this family. I'm going with the body to Nigeria. We watch movies. In Nigerian movies, they always accuse the wife that she's the one that killed them. So at home, my brothers and aunt and family, what they were scared that the family would think that I'm the one that killed my husband. But me, I wanted to have that. There was this thing that I was like, okay, maybe he wanted to be at home. The way that you guys pray, you pray to extend, wow, the dead will arise. I had that hope that maybe when he's gone, when we go to Nigeria, he'll wake up. And when I went, the experience that I had, they were wonderful people. They were grateful that I came. They didn't believe that I'll come firstly. They never accused me for anything. They never, I don't want to lie, God is my witness. They never accused me for anything. The only thing that they embraced me. We cried together.
Again, as if things were not bad enough for her. Her once caring in-laws changed from the supportive family they were to complete strangers with secret evil plans she suspects to harm her.
Everything changed when I was about to come back. Everything changed. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law, okay, my in-laws, they didn't know the decision that I made, that I wanted my son to be in Nigeria. They were just gang upping against me for no reason. You know, when they say God is there, He is there. When they say Holy Spirit is there. I don't know Igbo. The first time I had them making meeting, it was like I was sleeping, like a cold hand that touched me on my shoulder. Like it touched me the first time. I thought that is my son. The thing shocked me. I wake up. When I wake up, I hear people talking. Firstly, my mother-in-law was saying, she can't go with she must go. She can't go with the kids. They must find a way to take my kids away from me. You understand? And then the youngest sister, Uju, said that no, let's look for the passport first.
This change of attitude will begin a new chapter of suspicion and war with some of her in-laws. And in 2013, she left her son, Obinna, back in Nigeria and left for South Africa with her little daughter, Favor, back in a familiar environment and safe haven. In Johannesburg, family members, her friends, and her husband's friends rallied around her to support her both financially and emotionally. Some relief at last she sighed, but after a while she was left alone to carry her cross. That's life, right? When something devastating happens to someone around us, most of us feel so deeply, but we manage to put ourselves back together and move on with our lives. After all, we have our own issues too. All alone with her daughter Favor, and again lonely, and she joined a new local assembly where she became so committed and even volunteered during the week to counsel others through her experience in life. And this strengthened her as she also received some level of support from the local assembly. And in the presence of God, she became closer to God, the only one who never abandoned her. Now she began to dream again with big ideas and business ideas and plans to further her education. She decided she needed to begin again after the loss to find the beauty in the broken pieces of her life. And then again life happens. She lost her dear big brother who was constantly there for her, and then she's faced with envy, discrimination and accusation by some friends. You would expect that her experience should evoke sympathy, right? In August 2018, a friend walked up to her. Who Cares moment reenacted her experience with a friend.
I see you. You're walking around with mini skirt. Even now you want to get married. How dare you?
So, is that your business?
Okay? And you forget that you were married before. So? You say so?
It's not your business that I was married before.
You say so? They will investigate everything that you did. And they will find out that you are a killer.
What do you mean?
If I was you, I would make a favor.
How could you say such a thing about me?
Is it true?
My husband.
Is it true, honest woman? Is it true, honest? You
didn't.
Huh? How dare you, silly woman?
Does being a widow forbid one to remarry? These were questions Who Cares woman posed to a professional counselor.
Okay, talking about the lady in question. Number one, I'm going to say that even in the Bible says that the young widow should get married, should remarry. And I found out that that's one of the discriminations we're talking about. If a man loses his wife, if he wants to get remarried within 6 months, nobody bats an eyelid. Nobody says anything. In fact, people encourage him to do it. But if a woman loses her husband, who gets to stipulate how long she's supposed to wait? I'm still looking for who gets to say this is the length of time that she has to wait. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Nomfundo, though she was bitter and angered by her friend's outburst, she decided to forgive her friend and move on. Better to be better than to be bitter. Then she receives a call from her son. This is not the first time he'll be calling to make complaints about his grandparents and his father's relatives. Nomfundo recounts her son's ordeal.
There's a quarrel between him and their grandparents. The quarrel is he's growing up. He wants to come and visit. They don't allow him to visit. They treat him as if it's like my son is a bastard. They locked him outside the house all night. There's mosquitoes all night. They open for him in the morning when he has to enter, prepare himself to go to school. And then she started narrating the school. I said, Oben is not going to school. A 12-year-old to sleep. What if something happened to him that night? Or one gangster people, they're fighting somewhere, gunshot, and that gun will hit him.
The story that a 12-year-old child is locked outside. I mean, that's child abuse. A 12-year-old child is locked out. He's not even a teenager yet. He's locked outside for something he supposedly said to have done. The police should be called, social services should be called to lock a child outside because he did something wrong. That is not the way of Africa. In Africa, we take care of children. Whoever did that is damaging that child, and it's child abuse. And social services should be called to sort the situation out. In fact, the simplest situation is the child should be returned to his mother. That's just it. There's no two ways about it. He should be returned to his mother. The child is traumatized. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty obvious. The child should even be seeing a therapist or a psychologist. The child should be brought back to his mother.
What Nomfundo wants more than ever before is to have her son Obina back with her in South Africa, away from the ill treatment he's been experiencing for 5 years.
My advice to especially young widows, and especially if you're facing discrimination or going through some of the things we've spoken about, seek for legal counsel, look for support, find a good church to go to, sit with them. Make sure you're talking to someone. You cannot do this on your own. Just someone for you to pour your heart to. It is very important.
The bend doesn't mean the end of the road. No matter who let you down, don't be bitter but better. And also, lend a helping hand to someone as you hold on to God's never-failing hand. Share your story with us. Be your brother's keeper and lend a helping hand by joining in the conversation. Thank you for being part of this edition. I am Biola Shama. Who cares? We care.